Hi everyone, welcome to today's installment here on YouTube. Today I thought I would start prepping for another upcoming exhibition, which is entitled the Postcard Exhibition. It's an annual exhibition that happens every year at the Linlithgow Gallery, and I have these paintings I've done on paper, and I was trying to think if I should use these slightly in a smaller size, so I'm cutting them down. The postcard exhibition is for artwork that is roughly 5 by 7 and on paper. So there's no canvas versions, or well, you could probably use like a flat fabric canvas if you wanted, but it has to be 5 by 7 and not framed, and they're basically just kind of stuck onto the wall, and any artist can take part in it, even amateur artists who are just starting out or professionals. So it's a mix of different skills and styles, and so I'm thinking of using these pieces that I've painted in this square format, which is almost 12 by 12 inches. So I'm cutting that down, and when I'm cutting these down, I'm looking to try and make sure that I get a landscape that I like. I might go back and adjust those later on, but for now I'm just roughly cutting them into the size that I want, and I might do some more of these. At the moment I think I have about 6 of these. So when I'm cutting them down, I'm thinking that I really still like the design on the rest of the paper that's left there, so I'm going to try and use them again, and this is one idea I was looking at and I didn't really like it, but I was thinking I could use them for collage, those smaller bits. But then I think, right, okay, I'm going to use the rest to make some bookmarks, and I have these bookmark templates I bought some time ago, and I'm using the remnants from what I've just cut off for my exhibition pieces, and I'm just trimming them down. So I'm going to be gluing these to the bookmark templates. While I was thinking about it, I was also thinking, well, how am I going to glue them down? I was trying to decide if I should use double-sided tape, but then I know that the edges might not be very good. They might come off, or they might not come off, but they might kind of fray or something like that, and just not look very professionally done. So I decide to go ahead and use gel medium when I start to stick them together. But also I have actually a heavy gel medium, but I couldn't find it, so I'm using a really soft one for this. But what I decided was to use not too much of it, but let it get a bit dry and tacky, and then hopefully that will work. So it works out pretty well actually. So here I am deciding which way is up, and just marking out the areas for the bookmarks and just trimming them down with my paper cutter. But yeah, they turn out to look really nice, and as I'm going along I'm thinking of different ideas if I like the sharp edges. So you'll see as I move along with this that I end up using the kind of little corner clips to round the edges a little bit and add a ribbon to it. So the patterns on the bookmark is quite busy, so I didn't want to use a ribbon or anything with multiple colors. So I will end up showing you what I decide at the end of that. But here I'm still just measuring it out, trimming them down. So I end up with 6 of these at the moment, but I have more bookmark templates, so I will be using those as well. And they turn out so good. I can't believe how good they turn out, so I'm quite happy about that. So here I'm going to start gluing these down and gluing them together. So it's my gel medium, and I'll use my palette knife for this. You could use a brush, but I couldn't be bothered washing out the brush and stuff, so I just decided to use my palette knife for this, because you can always peel it off once it's dried if it's built up in layers. So I'm just making sure I get the corners on this, and then trying to put this down quite straight because I'd cut them not too much bigger than the template, but I need to just make sure that I have it right. So here I'm using the roller to flatten these out so that it adheres properly, but later on I end up using my hands actually because I don't want to break my roller. My roller is mainly for painting and getting textures and spreading paint around, and I realized that if I lean on it too much I could break it. So when I made the rest of them I actually just leaned on the paper with my fist and just moved it up and down to flatten it out. And what I've been doing as well off screen is putting them under some heavy books to make sure that they dry flat. So here I'm just doing the same again and putting the paper over, and yep, still using the roller at this moment, but I assure you I do change this technique because I couldn't imagine doing more of these and breaking that roller. So when you add the paper to the template I have for the bookmark, it blocks the holes that are on it, so I use my little hole punch to create new holes. And now I'm gonna just show you how I go about using this corner punch, which causes the corners to be curved. You can get a variety of versions actually of that, but I'm just testing it out and I decided to go with the 4mm one. And what I find is that it worked most of the time, but I think maybe if the paper was a little bit wet, it kind of tore it at the corner, so I had to kind of end up using my scissors to round it off at the edges later on for some of them. But I am going to experiment to see if that was the reason, if I needed to basically be patient. So here I'm going to use a cream ribbon for my bookmarks, and I'm measuring it at 7 inches. So I'm just tying it off and then looping it through the hole at the top. And I'm not really sure why we do this. Is this partly for kind of a design effect, or is there maybe a connection to linking labels when you're holding, when you're basically selling your bookmark? So I will have these available anyway in the shop, or basically if you want any you can contact me directly on my site. I'll leave the information below that you can contact me through either my Facebook or my website. So here I'm just clipping and just going along, doing the corners, and I used my hole punch to put the hole through there. So now I'm going to loop this ribbon through the second one, and I go ahead and I do this for all the rest as well. So it was a lot of fun, and I just thought I would share this new product that I've made today, and I'm planning to make a lot more of because it was way too much fun and it's awesome. So I'll see you in the next video.